Good morning, friends. I am reaching you from the Shambhala Now Drawla Mountain Center up in Red Feathers. I've been up here on silent retreat. We'll be actually closing up our circle for the week and heading home by the time you watch this. But unfortunately, I won't be able to join you this morning, so I'm joining you in this way. So if you read my email that I sent out this morning about puppy love, you might have read that we're talking about training the mind as if we were training a small puppy. And when we first sit down to meditate, and whether you've been with us for almost 3 years now, or if you're just tuning in today, we can learn from hearing this over and over again. I've been hearing it over and over again this week, even at this retreat. When we sit down to meditate, and the instruction is just be aware of your breath. That's all. It sounds so simple. And yet, I know in the beginning of my meditation practice, I could barely get through even one breath before my mind was just off on somewhere, some tangent. And it was so frustrating. And, it would take me a while before I realized I was daydreaming. I used to be a big daydreamer. I used to even get in trouble in school for daydreaming. So my mind is very experienced at daydreaming, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I mean, I don't know, maybe it makes a creative child. I don't know. But anyway, I was definitely a daydreamer from day one. And so asking my mind to focus on one thing for any prolonged period of time, i.e., prolonged meaning one breath, was really a challenge. And like I said, it was very frustrating. And sometimes teachers describe this process to help us put into perspective. It's like training a puppy, as I was saying in the email. And, trying to train the puppy to stay. And it runs away and runs away. We used to have a puppy. My husband and I used to volunteer for an organization called Canine Companions, and we would train service puppies. And that was our job. And so we would just have them from 8 weeks to 2 years, and then they would go on to college. But we had these little puppies in our house, and our very first puppy that we got was a little black lab named Gambler, and he was adorable. And I used to call him the devil dog because he was crazy. Not just in training, but every day. I mean, he would run away and get into things, and he was always chewing on things, and I would go and rescue him from here and put him here, and then I would set him down, and he would see a table leg or something, or chair leg next to him, and I'm just like holding him, and the next thing I know, he's gnawing on the chair, the table leg. And I remember one time I thought, okay, this is crazy, and I took him into the bathroom and sat on the floor with him just to uh, try to contain his energy and his mischief. And no sooner did I get in the bathroom on the floor, I hadn't even closed the door yet. And he spied the toilet paper, and he grabbed it and he ran off with it all around the house. And it's funny now, but I'm telling you, it was not funny at the time. And, but nevertheless, Gambler became a very well trained dog. He was so enthusiastic and so wanted to be the first in the class. And every time we'd get together with the other puppies, and we would call them by name, they were supposed to come when it was their turn, but not when it wasn't their turn. And so we would have them all one end of the room, and I would call him and I'd say, Gambler, here. And he would just take off like a streak of black lightning. And he would run down over the room and he would like skid into me. So excited. And the other puppy raisers are like, wow, he's trying to show everybody else up. Well, the sad thing is, Gambler did not make it through college to become a service dog because he was so intent on being first. He tried so hard that it actually made him neurotic. And it turns out he was too nervous for that kind of training. It all worked out well because he was released from the program, and we gave him to a family who had a grandson who was just at the time being diagnosed with autism. So Gambler went to be his companion dog, and is still living the life of Gambler, not the life of Riley, the life of Gambler. Very good life. Anyway, so when I hear a teacher describe training the mind is like training a puppy, I think of Gambler and his antics and how difficult he was to train. I mean, at the end of the day, my husband would come home and I would hand him the puppy and say, you take him. And I would have to leave the house and go for a walk because he had just challenged me so much all day. He was so intense. But I do sometimes feel like my mind is like that. I sit down to meditate and my mind is phew, out the door with the toilet paper kind of thing. And my thoughts go to the future and what I'm planning. And especially since I'm a teacher, I plan a lot, or regret. I'm a mother of 3 daughters, so there's lots of remorse behind me that things I wish I would have done differently. So it's very difficult. And yet, even Gambler, over time, learned to sit for a few minutes at a time, more minutes at a time. And honestly, he was the best dog. We could go around the corner out of his sight for up to 30 minutes and he would stay. Now, that's pretty amazing for a young pup. But it took patience and it took kindness and it took some discipline. Not mean discipline, but just that, hey, we as the puppy raisers had to have some backbone and say, no, you're coming back again. Let's try again. And lots of rewards. He got lots of treats. So if Gambler could be trained to be a good, obedient dog, albeit a little neurotic, then I know that all of us in our minds have a chance. So that's my word of inspiration. So why would we want to quiet our mind and train our mind? Well, the biggest thing that I can say is that because our mind is like that unruly puppy, our mind can rule our house of our being. It can rule our lives if we let it go. And so to be able to bring the mind back to the present moment and to be able to just train it in a very kind, non-judgmental way, kindness and presence is sometimes the biggest present or gift that we can give to ourselves and those around us, our families, our daughters, our students, our Sangha, friends, families. So that being said, let's do some sitting. So first of all, in mindfulness, we take our seat. And we take our seat with a sense of dignity and purpose and resolve, just like it takes to be a trainer of a puppy. A certain amount of resolve. I am here to do this job and I'm going to do it well, and I'm going to do it with gentleness and patience. And if we sit strong with this strong back, open, long spine, then that gives us room for that soft front, that we can still train this puppy with heart, with some vulnerability, with tenderness. And that's important. If you want a good, lovable dog, he must be trained with tenderness and a sense of humor, kindness, gentleness, no matter how much our patience is challenged. And as a result of having a body, we have sensations in the body. So feeling the body and really like just kind of checking it out, like what's going on down there? How is everybody today? So just not even having to do a big body scan, but just noticing how are all the body parts doing today? How is everybody? A little tightness here, a little achiness there. And part of body sensation then is that feeling awareness of breathing. And typically in a 20-minute meditation session, mindfulness meditation, the most basic practice really is to just sit and breathe. And our attention literally could be on anything. It's not random that we chose the breath, though, because the breath is always here. Wherever we go, our breath goes, vice versa. So it's good that it works out that way. And because the breath is always in the present moment, you can't take extra breaths so that you don't have to breathe tomorrow. And we can't make up for lost breaths if we had them. We're always breathing in this moment, this inhale and this exhale. So if we lose our way ever, stress, sorrow, grief, chaos, planning, regretting, we can always come home to our body and to our breath. How kind, how patient can you be? Coming back to the present moment, to the present breath, over and over again. Remember that when you do finally realize that your puppy has run around the corner and is getting away with the toilet paper, and your mind has gone down some rabbit hole story, as soon as you notice that, pick up the puppy, pick up that awareness, and just bring it right back to your breath. Doesn't have to be a big deal, doesn't need to be any scolding. It's just a matter of repetition. So, with great, great kindness and patience, just returning to the breath over and over again, knowing that each time you do notice and return, notice and return, that's awareness. And that's exactly what we're cultivating right here is awareness. So you're doing it right. So bringing your awareness back to your body again. If you've drifted off, be sure to come back home to the breath and the body. And begin to, even before you open your eyes, get a sense of the room around you, feeling the floor underneath your feet, sensing the ceiling above you or the sky, if you're lucky enough to be outside. In your mind's eye, picture what's to your right and what's to your left, what's in front of you, what's behind you. And then opening the eyes slowly, letting in a little bit of light at a time. You just look around the room, left and right, up and down, in front and back. Just get a sense of your environment, physical environment. Maybe you rub your thighs or your shoulders, get back in touch with your physical home here in your body. And feel free to wiggle your fingers, toes, circle your ankles and wrists, stretch your neck, massage around your eyes, whatever brings you fully back. Kind of get in that meditative state. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. And I just thought it would be a good time to return to just basic understanding of awareness of breath, sitting meditation. We call it both of those things, sitting meditation or basic sitting practice. Sometimes we call it awareness of breath. Because that's really the core foundational practice for cultivating mindfulness and heartfulness. And all the other meditations that we do and practices that we do stem from the ability to have a mind that's somewhat brought in and a little bit of a calmer, more stable puppy, not like the wind all over the house. So come back to this, whether with this recording or on your own. Just set a timer, even if it's for 1 minute or 2 minutes a day, and see if you can challenge yourself, and maybe through the holidays, to just every day, awareness of breath for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you feel like is attainable, and setting yourself up for success so you can feel like a successful, well-trained puppy. Okay. All right. Have a lovely time. And I miss you all. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you, Amy and Denver Public Library, as usual, as always, for wonderful, wonderful programming and this opportunity for us to all come together. All right, everyone. Take care.